how Jets fans feel. Like the big names that were associated with them this morning were Logan Stanley, who's one of their own, who apparently asked for a trade out of town. Some Jets fans, including our Game Over host Brady, is thrilled about that.
Yeah,
him and Liz, they don't like him.
Steve doesn't like it because I think Logan Stanley's okay because he's a giant man who's 6'7" and can stand on the ice as a 6'7" man.
There you go. Like people who are tall and useless.
That's why I like him.
The other thing
is
useless
like me.
They were linked to James Van Riemsdyk, which, to be honest with you, James Van Riemsdyk in his prime was a spectacular NHL player. But now he's sort of like a power play specialist, stand in front of the net, tip the puck kind of guy on the last year of his contract.
So here's the funny thing with James Van Riemsdyk. He has 9 goals, right? Mm-hmm. He only has 9 goals this season. So we're talking about a power play specialist who only has 9 goals. He has as many goals as Tyler Bertuzzi and Tanner Jeannot have combined. And both of those dudes went for first-round picks. So it's about fit. It's about what you have left in the tank. But I mean, that's another conversation because he's not going there.
Vlad Namestnikov goes from the San Jose Sharks, who I forgot even acquired him. He was a Tampa Bay Lightning until a few days ago. Then he was San Jose Sharks. And by the way, if you're Vlad Namestnikov, you got to be thrilled because you were going to the playoffs. You were going to be on Tampa. This is sick. And now you are going to a very, very good Winnipeg Jets team. Do you think that, I mean, obviously he's a versatile forward. He's in your bottom 6. What does he bring to this team, and does it actually move the needle?
Well, the Cap Friendly has him listed as all 3 positions up front. I haven't really seen him
at center.
No, I haven't really seen him at center. But I mean, when has Cap Friendly ever been wrong? He hasn't gotten a lot of points this season. He's only got 15 in 57 games, but that was buried on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Maybe he'll get more of an opportunity in Winnipeg, and for Winnipeg, he comes at a lower cost. Thank you to social lead Justin Fisher over there for pointing this out, that when Tampa traded him to San Jose, they retained, I believe it was half of his salary in and around there. So they're getting him for 2.5, 2 point something.
1.25.
1.25.
Yeah, because it was 2.5 and then now it was half retained.
That's
so
where
now
I
his
was
deal
confused.
is 1.25.
That's where I was confused. Okay. So it's at a very low cost. But there was an interesting little part of this that Brady pointed out. Brady, our Game Over Winnipeg host. So Michael Easmont, who Namestnikov was traded for, right? He was a Winnipeg Jet when this season began. The Winnipeg Jets placed him on waivers. San Jose picked him up. He had a good season in San Jose, enough that Tampa wanted him, and according to CJ, the Leafs wanted him. So naturally, Tampa got him. San Jose trades him to Tampa for Namestnikov. The Jets pay a mid-round pick for Namestnikov. Huh. So they could have just they could have just kept Easmont for free.
There you go. Okay. All right. Now, I want to say this. The Winnipeg Jets, trying to shut off the TV here. The Winnipeg Jets took, their lead extended last night, and they didn't do anything. The Calgary Flames lost to Toronto 2-1. And, Winnipeg now has a game in hand on Calgary, and they're 5 points up. How comfortable? I mean, the Jets are a sneaky team. No one's talking about the Jets, but they're in the playoffs this year, and they should be talked about perhaps more. They're a tough out. Connor Hellebuck is Connor Hellebuck. Won the Vezina Trophy a few years ago. Still one of the league's best.
I think they're a better playoff team than a regular season team.
Are they comfortable right now with their lead against Calgary, or do you think, when do you start to feel like, okay, we're running away with the 8th seed?
Well, here's how doomed the Calgary Flames are, to put it in perspective. The Jets are 4-5-1 over the last 10 games. That's the Jets fumbling the bag. Over the last 10 games, the Flames are 3-4-3. Dude, how do you fumble that? Like you have the perfect opportunity here, and they're 5 points back of the Jets. That's a great opportunity to make up space. They haven't done it. The Avalanche are coming on really strong, so it's going to be difficult for the Jets to get back up into that top 3. But Minnesota, Dallas is loading up. I mean, the Jets at this point just have to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? And it looks like they're going to. So you got to act like a playoff team, and you got to add. It'd be nice to see them add a little bit more, because don't get too hung up on who's finishing where. You know, who's finishing first in their division or in one of the top division spots. It's a conference that's ready for the taking, man.
Would kind of like to see a rematch of the Western Conference Final from, I believe, 2017 or 2018, whatever Vegas' first year was. Vegas, Winnipeg, round 1. Would love to see that. And right now, they are a point away from that happening.
Well, right now,
If they were to start today.
Yeah.
right now the matchup they got is Dallas, who have the same amount of wins in the last 10 games as Winnipeg does, 4. So I'm telling you, man, load up. I think this team is worth investing in. They haven't been very good recently, but if they just you got over a month to get it back on track.
I honestly, thinking about our season preview episodes, guys, it's amazing that the Winnipeg Jets are here.
They were such a
Oh,
mess
yeah.
in the offseason.
They were a mess.
Like, we were talking about them blowing up the entire core of this team and, like, sending out Scheifele somewhere. And you got to maybe trade Blake Wheeler, who scores goals at will, you know? And then now you see where they are, where they're probably going to most likely make the playoffs. I forget the stat that they had on the broadcast from the Leafs game last night, but the Flames have to go, like, 14-6
Something like
to
that.
make the
It's not happening.
95-point threshold that they think is going to be the playoff. Is probably not going to happen. The Winnipeg Jets kind of have a playoff spot secured, and once they get in, they're going to be very dangerous, as you guys said.
Yeah, no, it's simply not happening. Edmonton is going to be tough to capture on the top wild card, but again, just get in, just get in. You have Connor Hellebuck. You could steal a series. Just get in. Let it take care of itself. Rick Bowness deserves a ton of credit. And by the way, if it does end up being a Jets Stars first round series, what a story that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That he gets to take on his former team.
So either way, it's going to be great.
Yes.
Either way.
There are some amazing potential storyline matchups. And that, by the way, has nothing to do with the playoff seeding and the seeding system, which producer Drew is 1,000% wrong about. They just happen to be this year lining up storyline wise, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So that's I think that's all we need to say on the Winnipeg Jets right now.
Right now.
But we'll see what comes up. It's SDPN trade deadline.